Well, here we are again. We are here once again talking about Epiphone and about Gibson and kind of trying to answer the question of what the hell is going on with these two brands. We've been seeing an increase in everything Gibson. It seems like everything's moving towards that luxury brand. I've got a whole video dedicated to Gibson's side of things becoming this more luxury, high-end only brand, and they're kind of phasing out their lower end Gibsons and they're kind of shifting into this more upscale collector grade and custom shop model. And kind of anything below standard is potentially being nixed. And there's a couple things I want to talk about here. First off, Epiphone historically has always been very low and very subpar. My first Les Paul ever was an Epiphone. I've been always a Gibson Epiphone fan, but you got to be honest that the old Epiphone stuff from 10, 15 years ago was always garbage. So nowadays, the Inspired by Gibson line, the new Greeny, and now what I'm going to talk about in a minute, this new Adam Jones Les Paul Custom, the Epiphone seems to be becoming that working man's guitar, that regular player, that affordable gigging musician level of Gibson. And it seems like Gibson is no longer interested in having a lower price point Gibson. Like if you're going to buy a Gibson made in America, fully USA Gibson, it's going to have to be top tier. They're moving from having an affordable line to making better Epiphones. If Gibson standard or where everybody expects Gibson to be is here, which has gotten so expensive and it's so frustrating because I want players to be able to afford these things and not just collectors and stuff like that. So if this is the Gibson standard, they're basically now anything below here not going to do anymore. So I think we're going to see a decline of studios, classics. It seems like all of that stuff, I'm just speculating here, but it seems like all of that stuff is no longer going to be in their interest, and they're going to spend more time and resources on making better USA guitars rather than cheaper USA guitars, and instead opting for these new Epiphones, these new high-end Epiphones to kind of carry the torch of being $1,000 to $1,500. So that brought me to this. This kind of sparked this conversation today for me, at least. This is the Adam Jones 79 Custom. And at first glance, I love this because you get the cool silver burst and you get the split diamond, full size split diamond, normal books, the open book headstock, beautiful silver burst finish. We don't have an ABR on this, but we have the typical flathead screw. And let's look at some of these. You have the USA custom buckers in here. So apparently they are taking these American-made pickups, and this is the same thing with Greeny. So I'm going to put this in Greeny in the same category here, and a lot of the information kind of crosses over. So I think they're making these pickups here in America in the USA shop, and then shipping them to, I guess, China is where these are being made, and putting them in there. So I guess that's all added cost. But let's see what we got here. 3-piece maple neck, custom profile. So that's another thing that was the high-end Epiphone vibe, is that you're also getting custom neck profiles. So the Greeny profile is literally copied from the actual Greeny. I also just watched a video from my buddy Cam, who is Gibbs Sunday. He's got a really insightful video here on the Epiphone Greeny and why it's so expensive. And I wanted to kind of jump on that and share some information from it. So let's see if I can get to
Now,
here.
another really important part is the quality of this guitar. This guitar is not the same quality right here. It's better quality. It learned everything, you know, CAT scan, bioscan, everything. And this neck is the neck that is on Greeny right now. This is not a 1959 neck, even though it is a 1959 guitar. This is what you would feel if you picked up Greeny right now.
Yeah, so you could hear what he's saying, and he also works for Gibson, so he would know much better than any of us that they're really going to great lengths to copy what these guitars actually feel like, which I think is cool and definitely has a place in the market because no other brand can do that. No other brand has the history and the track record that Gibson has. You also get an ebony board, mahogany body, CTS pots, orange drop caps, just like they have in Gibson. So, and you get a deluxe protector case. Ooh, where's the picture of that? So that's another main factor here is that You get a legit, this is like the modern era of the old chainsaw cases. So you're getting a legit case. My favorite part is that this stupid thing is optional. I mean, I honestly have never even listened to Tool, so I'm not crazy about the Adam Jones look with this mirror, this circle mirror thing, but I could see why somebody would really like that. But now the question comes, just like with everything else, is, oh, is $1,500 too much for an import guitar? It's hard because there's so many factors that are going into these that they're not at surface level. And this is kind of where I guess I've been a little bit wrong too, is that on surface level, like when you first look, is it $1,500 for an import? Hell no. But the more you look into it, they are trying to make these USA quality. I guess the pickups and the wiring and the custom neck profile. How much are those worth to you? If you want something that really feels like Greeny or something that really feels like the Adam Jones guitar, I mean, that's got to be worth something, right? A standard Epiphone is what, $600 or $700. Say that you want to put in USA pickups, that's going to run you $300 or so. Now you're at like $1,000. So what is you're getting the headstock design also, which I really do like that they have the Gibson. I like the split diamond better than the Greeny look. So like you have the real, let's find it. So you have the real split diamond and the real headstock here. I think this looks way sharper with the binding than the Greeny standard, which is here. I think the Epiphone just solo up there with the 59 style headstock, is it a little goofy looking? I feel like with the split diamond and the binding, it looks way sharper, in my opinion at least. But yeah, let's just check all this out. This is all just about what Greeny is. Premium components. These are the Greeny buckers, and this is again something that Cam says, that the Greeny buckers are the ones that are the same that come in the standard and ones that you would buy from the custom shop, from the pickup shop. And you get all the upgraders, the Grover upgraded tuners. You get Mallory capacitors in the Greeny. So I don't know. It's like if you bought an Epiphone and you upgraded it yourself, say you bought an inspired by Gibson 59. What do those cost? Let's find out. Where's the regular standard here? Joe Bonamont Lazarus. So here's a standard 50s, which is $700. So this is like a run-of-the-mill Epiphone nowadays. $700 for your 59, regular 59 reissue. You get your long neck tenon, and you're not getting as good of specs. So say you bought this for $700. So you compare those specs to one of these. So you get the American pickups. So again, that's going to be what, like $350 for pickups. So now you're going to be over $1,000 for your Epiphone. You're going to upgrade the wiring, which is going to be like what, another $100 or so. You're at $1,100. And then to get the neck shape customized, I would assume that's going to cost you $150 from a shop, and then they're going to repaint it. So getting the custom neck profile, getting the upgraded pickups, getting the upgraded wiring, and all the upgraded specs, and you're actually getting the proper Gibson looking headstock. It does add up to about $1,500, I guess, if you think all in, where you don't have to do any modifications and you could just buy it and use it as is. So I think that has a point. And trust me, I'm not thrilled about a $1,500 Epiphone by any means. But when you do consider these things, you do have to be fair in mentioning this stuff, because you are getting a pretty sick guitar. All of the Epiphones that I've played since 2020 have been really incredible. I have an inspired by Gibson ES335 that, I mean, it smokes. It's a great guitar. And I don't know. I guess if you really want a high-end $1,000, $1,500 guitar that's going to be great, I don't see why the Epiphones wouldn't be good versus, buying something cheaper and upgrading it, or buying a lesser Gibson. I would be curious. I think that an Epiphone Greeny and maybe this Adam Jones, I think they would honestly smoke a Les Paul Studio that's a Gibson. Just being real. Specs, playability, consistency. I think that it would be a better guitar than a the cheap Gibsons, I think, would be worse than the high-end Epiphone. And now you're getting into a different conversation, which is really interesting. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about all this stuff below. And what do you think? Is Epiphone warranting and worth this high of a price tag? Are they crazy for asking for this, or does it actually make sense? I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.